Hello?
Hello?
No, we live in the magic world. We just go with the flow. We believe that we're live, so we start the show.
Doodle, doodle, doodle. Are we live?
I don't think we are live.
Failed.
Oh, God.
11
Okay,
watching
hang on.
live.
Somebody go to YouTube.
We're live, bitches.
Oh, we are live.
We're live.
Right. That then raises the issue of why I'm not seeing the chat.
I see the chat. Hello,
You
hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, on YouTube,
Hello,
but not
Hernando.
on the
Hello,
super advanced software of Sean.
Exactly.
Hello, Gian. Hello, Aline. Hello, John. Hello, John Andre, Jose, Christian, Edsel, Regal. Lots of people. Jazzy. Don't spam the comments, Jazzy says. Good moderating. Thank you, Jazzy.
Okay. So, people, welcome along. As you know, if you have joined us on a Friday before, this is very much a bit of a casual chat on the blockchain space. We're here to help you answer your questions and also give some Axie Infinity teams away. Mr. Gonzo, what are you going to be doing today on the Axie Infinity front? Something exciting, I hear.
Oh, something exciting. Yeah, I got kind of a milestone. It's like my last wallet to have a team. So I want to make a super good team and see if there's a new, not a new scholar, but an established scholar that wants it. So I know we have to figure out some kind of competition that we can do on how to give it away between the scholars, I think. What do you guys think? Or should we do...
I kind of like the best, you know, we're trying to teach people about the overall space here, not just Axie Infinity. So I kind of like that whole ask us a good question on crypto blockchain.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to raise the knowledge of our community. So what do you think, Stefano? Is it a good way to award this amazing team that Mr. Gonzo is going to make live?
Well, I'm actually like looking at the icons on the chat, and I see that there are people from Periscope. Is Periscope still a thing? Apart from that, no, I think that like in general, if you're considering like a premium team, so something that can go like on top 50 or on top 100, you need someone that can handle that team. Otherwise, it's just a waste. It's absolutely a waste. You know, you can have like a starting team. You can have like something like, you know, a classic plant, bird, beast, whatever. That's like a classic setup. But if you're going with like something that takes more time to be created, it means like one time, it means cost, it means overall a value of that team that can go for the market for a much higher price. You know, you don't give like a Lamborghini on the hands of someone that just got the driving license a week before.
Exactly.
Doesn't work.
Yep. No, it's supposed to be for like a community giveaway, all the scholars, which is like 200 scholars, right? So it's only open to 200 people. Right? Not
I think that we have more than 200, isn't it?
Well, I'm at 96.
Yeah, on that note, I was just talking to Baloo. He's got a number of teams for our community. So do I. I'm still hatching some eggs, people. So it might be Monday or Tuesday that whoever
Sean
I
and
give
his
away to today. Sean the egg hatcher.
Sean's got some decent teams there, Stefano.
Sean has the eggs.
he has the double tank beast combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Plant, dusk, beast, usually.
So look, I have been noticing who engages with the hard forking content the most, and so I immediately have a team I want to give away to somebody. I'm just hoping he shows up today. So yeah, we'll give people time to filter in here while we're doing that.
Some Axie talk.
Still a bit of news. Somebody that we've had on the channel a couple of times, John McAfee, passed away in a prison cell in Spain. Super sad into a pretty amazing life lived to the fullest. Lots of drama, controversy. But look, I rated this guy. I'm sure some of you don't actually know who he is, so let's have a quick look at who John McAfee is.
Put the volume, Sean.
Hello there. My name is John McAfee. I'm the founder of the McAfee antivirus software company. Although I've had nothing to do with this company for over 15 years, I still get volumes of mail asking, how do I uninstall this software? I have no idea. I really need to quit. As I said, I've had nothing to do with McAfee software for over 15 years. I've had more pressing things to do. But recent events have made me change my mind.
I think we smoked some cigarettes with him, didn't we, Mr. Gonzo?
Responses.
What?
We smoked some cigarettes with him.
The difficulty in removing
Yeah, exactly. Ones.
Holy fucking shit. I was drawing for like 5 hours straight on this marvelous drawing, and I had to do
full screen it, Sean.
and that slows the shit out of my computer. It's my computer. My computer is always really fast, but that son of a bitch has to come fuck it up. Here's another. My free trial for McAfee, or however it's spelled, expired. When it expired, it blocked Pornhub. Fuck McAfee. Fuck them in their stupid faces. I hope they all get dick and cunt rot and die a slow, agonizing death for limiting my porn use to XM. No one should have to. I tried one final time and got the Urban Dictionary definition for McAfee. McAfee, a barely passable virus scanning program that updates at the worst possible times. Tends to render a computer completely useless whenever it starts an update, which it doesn't ask to start, and you cannot cancel or pause. McAfee updates at horrible times, almost like the creators want you to die. So I finally remembered how to uninstall McAfee antivirus software, and I've asked my friend Bartholomew to walk you through the steps. This is my lab tech, Bartholomew. He's going to take you through step by step the process of uninstalling the McAfee antivirus software. Say hello, Bartholomew. Yes, so if you need me, I'll be over here, and good luck.
Removing McAfee antivirus software from your computer is as follows. First, make sure you have a full backup.
Yes, Bartholomew. Back it up. Back it up. That's right. Back it up.
Sir, should I be reading the instructions for the Mac or PC? They're really quite different.
Check see if Kelly closes.
Depending on which edition and version of McAfee's anti-malware software is installed on your computer, you may have to click on Remove, Uninstall, or a similarly named option to begin the uninstall process. When finished, reboot the system. John, are you getting this?
Yeah, yes.
You have to download McAfee Consumer Product Removal Tool. John?
Huh? Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Well, not completely, you know. I mean, it's always there. It's watching. It's been watching me for years. Every time I turn on the fucking computer, it's there looking at me. You know, something went wrong. 15 years ago, I had some beautiful software, and they took it over. I don't know what they did. It was like the time I hired that Bangkok prostitute to do my taxes while I fucked my accountant. It was terrible. Same fucking thing is going on now. But I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Believe me, I've got a fucking solution right here.
Legend. The guy had a way with words, didn't he? Oh my god. He liked to talk, and he could spin a good yarn. That's for sure.
Yeah, we had him on the channel a couple of times. I've thoroughly enjoyed his company. Got to talk with his wife as well, so thoughts go out to her and the family. But yeah, guys, a bit of controversy floating around. I believe he got a tattoo that said whacked, and he basically stated that if he was ever found suicided or Epsteined, as he said, then he was murdered. So I don't know. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? He said basically dead man switch. If he dies, somehow cryptographically all this stuff gets activated, and it's supposed to be a big news items and just a bunch of dirt. It sounds like that the government didn't want to get out, right? So the narrative is that they would whack him so he doesn't release all this stuff, but he knew it was coming because, so he planned for it. Because last year, the day after my birthday, he tweeted that and he showed the tattoo, right? Whacked. And then they're showing the wall. It's a bunch of activity after he died. So, I don't know. The guy's crazy enough to try something like that.
Yeah, there's a movie coming out about his life. It's actually going to be a comedy. I believe it's already been made, so hopefully it's not too far away. Yeah,
is he officially suicide, Sean? The sources
look, it's been reported as a suicide. An extradition. He was basically arrested on a warrant from the US. The Spanish authorities arrested him for tax evasion, and he was also charged with not declaring funds for promoting crypto projects. So most of crypto YouTube apparently will be going to prison at some point.
But the coin of the week.
This is a very sad thing. Sorry?
The coin of the week. That's what got him in trouble, right? Every week he would shill a totally shit coin, and then everybody would buy it, and there'd be the McAfee pump.
I think there has to be a bit more to it. I mean, why would a government look to extradite somebody over tax or cryptocurrency promotion? That seemed a bit extreme.
That's what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like he knew a bunch of dirt. Yeah. And he had some interesting top ideas about COVID, right?
Yeah. The last interview I did with him, he was very outspoken on that. So, thoughts go out to friends and family there. It's a sad loss. Never good to lose such a vibrant character. I think he added a lot to the space in terms of being a loud voice and bringing issues to the surface. A lot of people had issues with the guy, but I think life is about diversity, and we need those people who are outspoken before we all turn into very boring pieces of meat that just follow the.
I mean, come on, the guy. He was going to eat his own dick if Bitcoin hit $1 million or something. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Gonzo, we're going to make up your team live very shortly, but I see Christian Brother has joined the chat. Christian, could you let me know, do you already have a scholarship? Because if you don't, I'd like to give you one. I see you following us everywhere and getting very involved with the brand, so please let me know in the comments if you don't have a team. You do now.
So, yeah.
Right. So, guys, it's only been a couple of days since we spoke, but any updates into how the market's progressing? I think Stefano will love the fact that Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin bull, is now talking about Ethereum.
Oh, did it?
On CNBC on Tuesday. So
I even didn't look at that. I don't look at noobs.
Jesus. Let me see if I can find the article.
I took a quick scan through Twitter when I saw McAfee died. That's about it.
Michael Saylor changes his mind on Ethereum. So, during an interview, Michael Saylor said that he saw Stefano Colavan on the Hard Forking channel talking about Ethereum. He has sold all his Bitcoin. No, look, I think, I voiced my opinion on the Maxies recently. I think they're doing more harm to the Bitcoin ecosystem than good. And I think any rational person that's in the space long enough, it's not just all about Bitcoin. There's amazing things happening right across the space, especially on Ethereum. Stefano,
what?
When is the EIP 1559? What are we now? 3-4 weeks away?
Could be. It got released on Robston, so it is officially on testnet. So far, now as per usual, let's clean the FOMO as well, because I like things when they're precise. Since they put it on testnet, there is being burn on the testnet, obviously, but to give you like an idea of what it's going to happen and so on. So a couple of things. One, since they put that on testnet a couple of days ago, 790 Ethereum has been burned. Now, this is testnet. It's not real, obviously, but it gives you an idea of what it's going to happen once that comes in place. However, with the 1559, there's going to be like a little bit of changing and everything. And the generated ETH would actually be equal to 11,500. So, we're burning Ethereum. Yes, it's a good thing. We're nowhere near deflationary right now. And this is actually because of the gas price, number one, that it's very, very low at the moment. We're like back on 10 way. And number two, because the usage has decreased a little bit compared to like the madness that we had like in March in general. One, because we're a little bit on a negative sentiment. People are claiming that we're in a bear and so on. And number two, because obviously a lot of the usage has migrated on things like Polygon and other side chains and so on. So, we're not in deflationary mechanisms if it would be launched today, but we're still in a burning mechanism. So supply is decreasing, which is actually like a very good thing. Once the merge will come in place, and so Ethereum would reach that Polygon status pretty much in terms of like usage, then in theory, we could achieve a deflationary concept. Or if we go back on basically like what we had in March, and so like back on burning those like 4,000 or 5,000 ETH per day, then yes, we would be in deflationary mechanisms once again. Now the test has shown that there was one error at in these few days, so that's very good. The reason why they're doing test nets is exactly to like figuring out these things. They don't want to go on mainnet and figuring out that there are problems at that point, because there are like trillions of dollars on the line at this point in terms of like volumes, exchanges, and all of those things. So, it's a good thing. I think that ideally they're still on track to have it like by the end of July. The initial idea was like for the 14th of July, then they moved that for the 28th of July. I think that is more realistic that they're going to stick with like that final of July, so 1 month away, in my opinion. But, we will see. Nothing is confirmed yet.
Okay, very good. So, other news of note.
See, you're just like looking at me now. You're not seeing shot anymore. Damn.
There you go. New software, people. Still trying to figure it out. On that note, if there's anyone out there that uses Theta that could help me figure out how to stream to that platform, please get in touch with me. I'm really struggling. I've invested hours and hours. I watch the price of the Theta token go up constantly, but my impression of the platform and its UI is just awful. But other people manage to stream to it, so it can be done. I just can't figure it out. CNN launching NFTs of big news moments.
Ooh. On what blockchain?
Ooh.
Don't know. What blockchain?
Oh. Don't know, actually.
Are they going to make their own a la Tots?
Very good question. And I just read the headline. It was actually someone else commenting on it. So I can't answer that. I should be able to, shouldn't I? Okay, what else is news, people? Stefano has told us that the space is buoyant on numerous occasions in the last couple of weeks. I agree. And, things like this back it up. One of the big VCs in the space, 2.2 billion in funding for their new crypto venture. So, look, anyone that's telling you we're in a bear market, it's doom and gloom, sell, get out of the space, it's all over.
No, everybody that says that we're in a bear, all the people that were like in on like 10x leverage, and now they're completely wrecked and destroyed. Like, Good for
That's
you.
great. That's
you
very
got
true.
a slap in your face, and you realize that you're not the pro Gordon Gekko that you thought you were. Reality kicks in from time to time.
The March,
Yeah.
April, May crowd that all came in on the top of the rocket.
Yeah, you know, all the ones that were like, oh, Shiba Inu is the best possible thing ever happened to this space. Okay, good for you.
Yeah. On that note, we'll throw in a bit of a negative FUD, and I'll translate this for you. So we've
Please
got JP Morgan says Bitcoin made up to 25K. Cites Grayscale GBTC unlock. So basically, Grayscale is a very big fund. You effectively buy a share in the company.
JP
They
Morgan.
own the underlying assets. But I'll translate this for you. JP Morgan looks to bring down the price of Bitcoin so that they can buy more.
Dude, how is it possible that a bank can do that? Like market manipulation attempts, like that kind of shit.
No, I think it's fair. Like they have analysts, they do the same on public stocks. They do the same like when there are reports and quarters earning on stock market. Or like, the expectation is high, and then the expectation is always low. How is it actually possible that someone that is like look at this for a second? We have an analyst, which the job of an analyst is to work with numbers 24/7. They are hired based on like studying numbers, math, equations, everything. Somehow they are the most inconsistent people ever. Like the accuracy, the percent rates of when they actually achieve a good claim or a good analogy or like a good expectation on an earning is basically never. It's like maybe 10% of the cases, 20%. How is that possible? Like they are pretty bad at their job, but somehow they're all still having their job. Like how is that? It's impossible, basically. Why is that? Because obviously it's an interest. Banks always do that, and as they are doing that with the stock market, they have done that with like bonds as well, like on governments. Reporting, taxations, deficit, and all of that stuff, and as well as now they're doing that with Bitcoin and blockchain in general. It's nothing new. They've been doing that like since ever in every single financial product.
Very true. I mean, look, basically what they're saying there is if you invest in Grayscale, you are effectively locking up funds for 6 months. So you buy an equity in that business, but as part of in terms of the ownership of that share, you can't exit it for 6 months. So that 6-month expiry is coming up. The people who own those shares will be able to sell at a significant profit. So it's big fun.
That's hilarious. Think about it, right? If it's 6 months, they rode through the whole bull market and missed it.
Yeah.
Right? Say they entered in December. Fuck, all the way up. Oh my God, 60K. Oh, it's 25K. Oh, that sucks.
They're still cashing in what, like 50, 60% on profits? That's still pretty good, isn't it?
It's true, but
so I've just put a little 9 Chronicles graphic up here. They had some news out yesterday, I believe, Stefano?
Yeah, well, not yesterday. Like a couple of days ago, they launched their a blog post on Medium announcing the Play to Earn portal. We spoke about the Play to Earn portal a couple of times, even with Kijun when we interviewed him. And so there was like this Medium article, and then this morning they actually launch the portal. Like it's available. People can go. So if you have been downloading the game and everything, you can go to the portal. You can start like completing the tasks, and there are different tasks. Some of them are very familiar because you see that like from the Hard Forking Discord channel. Like for example, buying an item, forging an item, selling an item, those type of things. And others are a little bit more.
Getting a name.
Creating the character, basically, that type of thing. And others are more relating to obviously 9 Chronicles per se. So for example, if you follow their Twitter accounts, you will receive some coins. If you are joining their Discord, for example, which I would recommend everybody to do that, because if you want to sell or buy the tokens. That's the only way that you can do
Now,
that.
if you are selling, can you please send me a message? I'm buying. So if you're looking to sell any 9 Chronicles gold, please get in touch with me. I will buy it from you.
Sean wants your gold. He's gonna buy
your gold. Give me your gold.
Sean the whale.
We're moving to a
Stella.
9 Chronicles gold standard.
He's gonna go on Twitter and be like, dump your 9 Chronicles gold. I'll buy all of them. I'll buy everything.
Well, on that note, I do actually have a number of people that also want to buy it. Say, yeah, please do hit me up if you are selling. We can't let Stefano own the entire supply.
Hey, first mover advantage, huh?
Okay, so look, I've got a couple more teams I'll be giving away very shortly to our Axie crowd. But Mr. Gonzo, do you want to jump into a screen share and show us this team that you're putting together?
Okay, just before that though, there's some comments there about your scholar. Maybe he needs a QR code, and Jazzy doesn't have access. Huh?
He's got it.
Oh
no, it doesn't.
He probably sent it, and with all the server stuff, it probably got reset, so it doesn't work. So he probably needs another one.
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of Axie issues this week.
Right.
Like the server is completely overloaded. It's almost unplayable. Right. Okay. So many people are missing.
Maybe I did send that to you a few days back in a personal.
Sean, you have to redo it.
But I'll redo it. I'll redo it after the show.
That's the only way, because there was lots of server stuff, and when they redo the servers, like it resets the codes. Which is a pain in the butt.
By the way, Christian Braza, it was you that I wanted to give a team to. I do appreciate your involvement in the community. So congrats, sir. I saw there was a bit of confusion. Someone else thought it might have been them.
Mm.
Okay, Mr. Gonzo, take it away.
Okay. Share. Which one? Share. It says I can't share. Oh, there it is.
We're starting well, strong.
But ain't gonna get better. Setting low expectations. We're all about improvement.
Yeah, but I can't see the screen.
I can't see anything either.
Jordan is faking it. It's like, you see this beautiful team?
Well, it's so the same thing. It's new software. It's not web-based.
See this beautiful team. We'll go to someone very lucky. Oh, now we can see. Now we're in.
Okay. So I want to make a team, a really good team for an upgrade for a scholar. So what we'll do is we'll make the team, and then if any of the scholars watching want an upgrade, they can send me a message. Right? So this is the last one. This is a milestone.
I think you'd have to put Seer at the top of that list.
Oh, she got an upgrade already this week. Sean and I upgraded about 25 scholars. There was, I think, 5 or 6 scholars that moved over from Much Wow that have been long-time scholars, and they were doing quite well, and they were asking for upgrades. So built them new custom teams in most cases, or they had a team that was just built. So that's good, trying to reward the people that have been around.
Yep.
For a while, right? And stuff. They brought in their friends and family to take over the Much Wow scholars, which is kind of cool because it's like pre-screening, right? You know that your brother or your mom isn't going to be multi-accounting, right? So you have a recommendation of a good recommendation, and it's a nice way that we've been building a scholarship now. I think, Stefano, you're maxed out too, right? Have you stopped building teams?
No, I still have like an extra 2 that needs to be given, and that would be like number 99 and number 100, and nice. And then I mean, like I discussed that a little bit on stream. I'm trying to figure out a lot of things. I also mentioned basically like to the community, and basically like we have a lot of the same people. How from my side at least, like the continuation and the growing and so on comes to the fact that like we need more people in the community to step up. In the same way as like Jazzy has done that, and in the same way that like, you know, we need to start thinking of models where the managers, the moderators, like the people that are actually putting the time to help doing these things are gonna get like a rewards for that, or a payment or a salary. You know, like you can be a freelancer, you can be like a contractor, you can be whatever you want to call it. as a real freelancer or part-time job type of thing. And I think that like if we get into this situation, then our role, like me, Jordan, Sean, and so on, becomes a role where we need to continue creating new teams and expand and ensuring that like this gear can keep running. So yeah, but right now I'm actually thinking like I'm gonna do the 2 teams, and then we see what's gonna happen if the community really wants to like step in and bring this to the next level, or if it's still gonna be like an amateur type of thing at that point.
Well, we are going to take it to the next level on Monday. I'm going to open a new chat on the Discord, people that I'll be inviting specific people that have been really involved in the community. We want to reward you with some ownership in what we are doing. So that's going to begin from Monday, people. So make sure you get stuck in. We're looking to really build something big here. Tell your friends about us. Share the content around. Right, Mr. Gonzo, what do you got?
Yeah, it's been an interesting week in Axieland, man, because of the network is growing so big, right? And 1 million Axies is a big thing, I think, right? Like, holy shit. Before, it was less than 300,000 in May, right? So it's tripled. And have you seen the daily volume? It's crazy. Like, it's got to equalize here somewhere. So I think, like Stefano was saying, the prices are coming down a bit, but that's and then the network is having some issues because there's so many people. So I think people might be getting a little bit impatient, right? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm to the point now where it's like the playing and the breeding. I got so many Axies, I don't know what to do. So I just want to make up some good teams and try and get more scholars out. Like I talked with Spaghetti. He's offered to step up. He says that he wants to manage a team. He's like, he had a proposal for 30 Axies, and he would take care of the scholars and everything and just run it similar to what we've done, but on a smaller scale. And I mentioned to him that, we were discussing this. So, Spaghetti is basically doing this already. So is Jazzy, right? And Tim has also started doing this as well. He's got a larger account. He's helping train scholars. He's helping develop the meta. Like, he's stepped up. There's, Pusa, Tim's girlfriend. She's helped a lot too. She's helped get us organized with a lot of this. So she stepped up also as a leader, but not necessarily as like doing stuff in the back, that you don't recognize. It's not like just a good player with a good team. There's other whole bunch of organizational stuff that we have to do to make these scholarships work, right? And be organized and stuff. So
can you quickly explain to everyone watching what we are in fact looking for there, what they would be doing on the daily, what sort of skill set they need to do this, and we obviously discussed how we'll remunerate that. Don't know if we want to talk about that right now or any reason not to.
Sure. I mean, there's the manager and then the owner of the team, right? So the manager would be responsible for dealing with onboarding new scholars. I'm not sure, Stefano, the managers don't do payments, right? Is there any setups like that have you seen anything like that?
I wish. Yeah, there is only one company that I know. And I don't know how they're doing that. It's YGG. YGG is the only one that I know where they automate that part. It's not even like the manager doing that, to be honest. Right. They have a bot, the scholar write that they want to do the claim of the SLP, and the bot automatically does that for them. I have no idea how they got there, because when I'm looking at the code, like at a model that could be similar, there are some securities involvement.
Isn't that all about the terms of service too?
Nah, that to me, with all the respect, I saw people claiming that as a reason. I call BS on that. Is that it's a security issue. You're giving access to the private keys to a bot. If something happens, YGG obviously knows what they're doing. I am not at that point, to be honest, from a technical point. I'm still unsure if you can really protect that. The only other option, if you remove the bot, is basically the same thing. You would have to give private keys to the managers, and here's the same thing. you're giving access to like 5-10 accounts, yeah, we can talk about it. Like it's potentially like $10,000 in risk if the manager like decide to go away and so on. But if you're giving access to like 100 accounts, that $100,000 that a manager can run away with, like I'm not implying that like anybody's a bad person and so on, but if actually something like that happens, personally, I'm not comfortable of giving private keys for 100 accounts to someone that I don't know personally, or that I cannot check physically and sue if something happens. Maybe it's just me.
If you need to.
Huh?
Kick in the door if you need to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe it's just me, but I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, like that's what I mean. That like we've talked about this many times, like how we scale up, and maybe.
Well, there might be a solution around that, guys. When we get our next program in place, which is going to require people doing KYC for equity, etc., in the business. At least if we really get to know some people a bit better, that comfort level will grow. But on that note, people, listen to what we're saying here. Get in there, engage with us and the community. We're looking for people to build this business with and have you as part of that. On that note, Kit, I just saw somebody, Kitten Dust. You're saying you're lonely in the Discord because there's nobody from Indonesia. Well, we've got Baloo and Leanne, who also make content on this channel, both in Indonesia at the moment, both with numerous teams. So you want to start engaging with them. I will definitely get them to jump into the Indonesian Discord and have a chat with you in there because it is great. I see you here every video we do, supporting the community. So, we'll get some more Indonesians in here with you. Okay, Mr. Gonzo, let's make this team.
Man, I just hurt my back 2 days ago playing football. And every time I move, sometime it tweaks it. You see me doing these weird movements. Yeah, this is the first time I played anything in like a while.
I'm on 5 tramadols. I've got a torn rotator cuff, so I'm going one better than you on the pain.
No, yeah, well, I didn't take anything for it, but it hits me, and you see me like I'm like, whoa, I'm doing like these weird things. I'm not
R14 content for grandpas.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Oh.
The old man whinge fest episode today.
I don't know words.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay, so we want to make a team. So usually I would look for the highest hit point tank, which is a good way to start. So health, I'm going to go give it a bit of wiggle room because a lot of my tanks, the meta, how you build a team, the tanks are a little bit less in the hit points, right? So now, where my voice is going. I don't know what's going on here.
Stop whinging. We just covered.
Yeah, I know. Everything, right? So here we got a bunch of dusks and a bunch of plants that have some really high hit points. A couple of these are from Sean and Jazzy here. I think this one is from another scholar. We did Play to Breed already, which is kind of cool. So all of these guys have 61, 62. This right here is pretty much one of my standard tanks because it's got the high health 61. It's got the pumpkin, which is good for an extra shield. It can can withstand your double nut, which is like the strongest attack. And it's got some healing with the zigzag, and then it's got the damage reduction with the quick escape. So this is probably like one of the best tanks that I have. And you can build a team around it. The speed's 40, which is pretty good. It means it's faster than the same as the beasts. So that one's pretty good. What does everybody think? Maybe you need a massage, Sir G. Haha, Zachar, that you totally need a massage. That's totally true. Oh my God. I don't think I can do this, you guys, Sean. Stefano. My voice is getting worse and stuff.
Totally okay, you share the screen and I'm gonna do a voiceover. Don't worry. We can do this. We improvise. Okay. So clearly in the Gonzo's Colors, we love the dusk. We always want to find like something that can be potentially much faster than a plant, because a triple dusk or a double dusk plus a beast, or like a reptile through in the middle with some like poison. Why not? Let's have a look at this one. It's not perfect in terms of HP, but you know, it's still absolutely top notch. The speed, look at that speed. Look at that speed. Where can you find a dust that is faster than that? Is the Usain Bolt of Axie Infinity. Come on, guys, it's there. But if we're looking at the ability, it's a little bit of like a Frankenstein version, as per usual. You know that in the Gonzo Scholar, the Frankensteins are the top of the top. And, you know, we have a little bit of like regain health in case of needed with a very strong attack as well. Every single ability brings a nice shield that, like, if you want to go like for a combo and protection, it's there in place. So overall, it's a middle Axie, I would say, and can be fit super well in a nice combination with like maybe a 61 at the beginning, maybe at the back. You know, you can play it as you prefer. What do you think, guys? Let us know about that.
Wow.
What do we name this guy?
You're almost like a crypto YouTuber there. It's incredible. Very good.
Huh. You should put me like into... Not gonna be rude.
Okay, so that sounds like a winner. Hey, Stefano?
Yeah, I mean, that is good. It's actually like fast. That is true, to be honest.
Okay, so let's find a beast. So I got some pretty cool new dual blade, fast dual blades.
Okay, let's see what you got there. Morale 59 is not perfect, but it's a 43. So you exchange that 61 for a 43 because standard would be a 41. So that's pretty good. It gives you like first mover.
The dual blade, you know, is like a 175 hit, so you don't really need the crit, you know. Although the crit is crazy, like almost 400. So
that's true, but you got like the that's the thing, because like you lose the critical for the cotton tail, but you got like the single nutcracker plus the dual blade. It's risky because you don't have the 61 morale potentially, so I'm not sure like the extra gain on the energy would actually play off too often. But overall, yeah, it's a combo that can be good. That's true.
There's this guy here, which is just massive damage.
Yeah, this is way better. This is way better because you have like the 61 morale. You exchange the extra gain of the energy, like for the critical. For the, what's the name of the attack? The one with the arrow, the one that does 125.
Risky Beast.
That's
Revenge Arrow. Okay,
so you got the arrow, you got like the dual blade, and you got like the nutcracker, and you keep like the cottontail, which is always a good thing to have. It's a 61, so it increases on the critical options. Yeah, I would actually like take this, to be honest, compared to the other one.
Sure. Funnels Butcher, that's what we'll call him. Because, you know, he looks like a butcher. Right? There we go. He's got a name.
You've got to call one John McAfee, surely.
Good call. Oh, I think I got one.
Or the $1 million cock.
Nice. There was one with sunglasses that just came out. This is McAfee right here. This is a good guy. This is a crazy beast. How is it's MAC, right?
No,
no, it's MC.
MCAFFEE, right?
Mm-hmm.
McAfee's Revenge. I'm super interested to see how that story plays out, man. Okay, so we got a team here from Stefano that helped me pick because my voice is going.
Actually, I didn't pick the McAfee Revenge, but sure.
No. But you got the Dusk, right?
Yeah, you got like the Dusk, the Beast, and I think like the two initial Dusk are pretty good. You got like the Dusk of 61, you got the Dusk on speed, and then you got like the Beast.
Right.
I think that's a good team, to be honest.
Okay, nice. That's a good one for sure. Do you guys want me to send it so you can see how we could do that?
Yeah, sure.
So I got my account set up, right? Here's Gonzo Scholar number 91, which is super cool. So once you register your account, you got the Ronin address and the ETH address. So I copy my Ronin address, and then I switch to my other account, one of my 80 other accounts. Okay. And then, so we got...
Oh, by the way, to everybody that is looking and watching and having hopes, don't worry, because now Jordan is going to try to transfer the Axie, and the server is going to be overwhelmed, and it's not going to work. Because we all know the issues that we're all having in these days. So
yeah, exactly. No, the transferring actually is always never really failed me. Now that I
did add a couple of problems.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, loading the teams yesterday, you couldn't even look at the Axies you had. You had to reload,
the dashboard, it's been like absolutely insane.
All right, so there's Stefano's Butcher. And then we got the Blue Demon. Where's the Blue Demon? Well, let's
I see Gabrielle Tibian in the chat. Do you have a team? Can you let me know?
Blue Demon. Ow.
See, Sean is like Oprah. Like he reads the chat and he's like, "You got a team.
I notice every single comment. I reply to every comment on YouTube. I see who's involved in Twitter, and I definitely see Gabrielle there on the regular. So I'd like to give him a team.
See, and Gabrielle has already answered and say, "I don't have a team, Sir Sean."
Okay, Gabrielle, hit me up in Discord, and we'll get that arranged for you in the next couple of days.
Stefano, I just want to show you my new favorite tank.
Okay, 61. I basically I'm breeding plants that are the same. I know that you like dusks, but yeah, that's fair enough. Energy regeneration, the pumpkin, the
beach,
the bite thing, and the Orn is the only one that I don't know by heart actually.
Oh, beach is crazy because you always take damage, and if you break your shield, it does like 30% more damage.
Oh, it's the annoying one. Yeah, fair enough.
So like on an Aqua, you can do like 165 damage if the shield breaks. It's pretty good. So this is my new favorite.
I'm changing a lot. Like what I'm doing is I'm replacing that Orn on the standard tank that I'm creating. Like I'm replacing the Orn where the regain of 120 HP, like the blossom thing, and then the bite is either that or is the one that's still 1 energy. So those are the two main bites.
The zigzag or the Sirius. Yeah, definitely. You need one of those for a plant tank or even a dusk tank or a reptile. Cool. There's a team. Nice. And it all gifted, no problem. So let's check the wallet. Inventory. Refresh. Stefan Butchers.
There, your team is a 2 out of 3. You don't play.
Last one still moving.
Good luck. You got a 66% completed team. Have fun.
You can start every game with a handicap.
Show them how good you are. Win with 2 axes.
Come on. This is basically Sean's template for a team as well. Double dusks, beasts.
Would you like to explain more, Sean? How did you came up with this design of the team? What were your design process?
Annoying Mr. Gonzo on numerous Zoom calls.
Yep.
Why try to do something yourself when you can wheel in an expert to help?
Fair enough.
Or do it for you. What's the point? I'm still learning, and I want to get the best teams as possible to my scholars. So yeah, Mr. Gonzo has been massively helpful on that front.
Yeah, no, it's been good because Jazzy has been his scholar, right? So she's all into the play to breed. So she actually has a couple nice scholars going too. So she's, got her scholars that play her team, and then she plays for Sean, and she helps us manage some stuff. And so now, we're seeing like there's, I think, 6 or 7 or 8 scholars that have started in our program that have their own scholarships now.
That's
I'd say
awesome.
there's more than that, like 12 maybe. Like
Yep.
I got Obando, Spaghetti, Jazzy. Who else has scholars? Regina. Who else has scholars? Ferdinand, he has his big scholarship, right? Hubert just graduated. He took his own team. That's pretty cool. And then there's who else? Well, Ferdinand's graduated, right? And it's funny, even Stefano wants the Gonzo team. The second Much Wow scholar is named Stefano. He changed his name to be like Stefano. So he took over the guy that won the tournament, Ferdinand. He moved on to his own scholarship, right? So he has like a premium team, very close to the one that we just built. So he's taken over that one. And one of the ladies that won the video submission, Mary Jo, she's taking over Stefano's scholarship. So that's quite nice.
Yeah, keep those videos coming, people. We're going to be getting into a bit of documentary content in the very near future, and would love as many of you involved as possible. And it's a great way to get a team.
Travel soon.
Oh man, I wish. I'm sitting down here in the middle of winter. I haven't had a winter for about 15 years. Cold.
Don't
when I
miss
go
it,
outside,
right?
I'm a bit sad.
There is a lady named Egli Colmenares from Venezuela. She sent me a nice video that, I wanted to give her a team, but I haven't heard from her in a couple of days. So if I don't hear from her in the next couple of days, I'll have to find someone else. So there's a couple other video submissions, but it was a nice lady, and it seemed like she needed some help. So we got, that's what we were trying to do, is just help people,
Yep.
So that's why I'm seriously contemplating doing that next wallet with 20 more, because I know it's like work, but it's like, what else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we're going to have at least, if you're doing that, we've got at least another 20 from myself, Baloo, Leanne, Jesse. So yeah, they're going to come thick and fast, people. So make sure you are involved with the community. Now, how have you decided to give that team? Is that going to be an existing scholar, or did you want to do a giveaway of another team today?
What do you think? How should we do this one, Stefano?
Best question.
Yeah.
Well, we have tournament coming up. We have the community tournament coming up, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true that we do. That's true.
Yeah, so this will be another team that can be chosen by the scholars who win the community tournament. So,
Candy, yes, please send video applications. The more of those, the better.
So, the grand prize winner again will get to pick their own team however they want, and then the next runner-up, I think maybe we'll do 2 other teams. And those scholars, like second and third place, they can play for these 2 other teams. The second place guy gets to pick one of the 2 teams, and then the third place guy gets the 3rd team. So that way we have, a nice flow of new scholars getting a chance to move up and win and have some competition and train. And, we've discussed a bunch of new meta, right? Like there's a meta, like war going on, right? And I think we're doing a good job of keeping up with it, because everything's going, all mechy, right? Like different classes all mixed together, but just totally tweaking the cards and not necessarily worrying about classes. And Spaghetti's been super helpful with that, and Tim. So we're going to keep building teams like that so we can get some more, top 100 teams. Actually, Hubert was a top 100 player, Stefano. His team is top 100. It's really awesome. Cool. So we kept the team intact, and now I'm trying to figure out, how do we get someone to play it? How do we pick? Because obviously
you got like the second run up, but we should, and that's like, once again, it goes back to like, we need to collect data. I know that it sucks and we need to do like manually, but that's pretty good on that side. If we collect data and we start having, like, for example, who gets in which position at the end of the seasons, which are like the scholars that perform better and so on, we can see who should move on very powerful teams that we know that in general like are performing well, And two, that goes back also like to all the other things that we are planning and we're developing for the community, like the 9 Chronicles Gold, the NFTs, like
we've also got 2 more blockchain games that will be coming on the channel in the next week, and we've got a bunch of NFTs and contributions from those projects. So more is getting added to this play to earn and gaming space.
Yeah,
regular.
Stefano, how's your Gala node going? I've been getting I got a couple more NFTs, and it seems like Town Star.
It's ages that I don't check. I still having that running every single day, but I check that like once a week or things like that. And so far, I didn't really got many NFTs, to be honest. I'm still stuck at probably like 1 or 2 more since the last time that we spoke. That was 3 months. How many months ago did we check that, actually?
The Gala node?
Yeah, like it was a long time ago. But just to give you an idea.
I bought my second license about a month and a half ago.
Okay, so it was 1 month and a half ago then that we spoke about that. And no, I don't have. I'm not getting a lot of NFTs actually. Let me just log in to double check. This proves once again how much time I spend on these things, because god damn it, I wish to have a clone. How nice it would be. Now, give me 1 moment. I'm there. Oh boy. Okay, no, I have 1, 2, 3. 3. Only 3.
3. Oh, that's good. Did you just get them? Like they're all for Town Star, right?
No, one is from the NFT, the one like from the podcast.
The Mirandus.
They have done like the team has done like a podcast, an appearance on a podcast, and they have like basically like creating an NFT, like a commemoratives, like a collectible thing. Then one is from Townstar and one is from the tower defense game that they're gonna announce sooner, like they're gonna launch.
Mirandus, right?
No, I got nothing from Mirandus. Mirandus is the MMORPG.
Ah, okay.
So I got Townstar, I got a collectible, and I got the tower defense, which is like Fortress, I think it is the name, or whatever it is.
Stefano, question.
What?
Of all the blockchain games that you have used, played, what do you like the best? What's your favorite?
Look, there is a big difference on... I think that this is like a 3 points answer. Number one, there is the economical part, and I'm never gonna be like so fake on saying that play to earn is not the finals on how much you earn. You like a game, and I say that many times, and I know that like I'm a little bit different on a lot of people, but I do strongly believe that if Axie would not give the amount of money that it's giving to play the game every single day, because daily you're actually cashing in like $20 or something like that, plus or minus. I don't think that there will be so many players in, because the game at the end of the day, yeah, it's okay, but it's not like, oh my god, this is the best game in the world. Personal opinion, don't get offended, it's a good game. There are other good games around. So, you know, if I'm looking at earning, the top 2 will be Axie and 9 Chronicles, for sure. If I'm looking at quality, like the real quality of the game, the best production so far, I would say Blancos and Axie and Lost Relics. Those are the best in terms of quality. Would Blancos be the top one? Blancos is terrible in terms of play to earn, like on earning, but the quality of production is incredible. Like it's super high. And then if I'm looking at me personally, I'm a sucker for FPS, so for first-person shooters and things like that. So the closest one that there is would be Light Knight, but Light Knight is currently buggy as hell, and I really I really, really hope that they're gonna get to the point of like fixing all the bugs. There are not a lot of players, so when you're like initiating a match, you're basically waiting for a week, not even like an hour, but it's insane.
Axie's
But
been
I
last
hope.
week.
Yeah, Axie's been basically unplayable. You see where we are in the industry. Like you got something like Axie reaching 200,000 active daily players per day, and then you got things like Light Knight or War Rider or things like that you basically like need to wait weeks to actually find a group, a team, a party to actually play with. So I really, really, really like what the entire Light Knight team is doing. I like the second game that they've created now, which is sort of something like a survival RPG. So it's similar to Raft, where you're like in an island and you need to craft materials to like build things, and then you have enemies and you need to survive and stuff like that. And you
like
earn
Civilization,
Satoshi.
right?
It's not really like a civilization. That's more like on a town star approach, I would say. This is like you have your own character and you need to survive in an island. So you need to find food, you need to drink water, you need to like do all of this stuff. And
Survive.
I like this type of genre, but we're not there in the play to earn at the moment. I really, really hope we will get there. I'm sure that it's gonna happen, but that's another thing that you see like a lot of different styles, and a lot of companies are approaching things in a different way. So Light Knight, you need to buy the game, costs $20. You buy that, you start playing the game, and then you earn 100 Satoshis every 3 or 4 hours. So you buy the game first. Then you got things like Axie, where you need to buy, forget the scholarship for a second. That's the community putting that in place. But with Axie, you basically buy a team that might cost you $1,000. And then you got like your return every single day, which is a very good one. Different approach. Then you got things like Lost Relic, completely free, costs $0 to actually start the game. And if you're lucky and if you spend a lot of time, you might potentially find something that might turn out to be worth even thousands of dollars. And so that's a completely different approach. And you can spend more money on top of that if you want. Same thing on models like Sorare, which is cards for football. And so there you spend money. You can also not spending money, starting for free, and so on. And then you got like approaches like F1 Delta Time, for example, where you spend an insane amount of money. Z-Run is another one. You spend a lot of money to start, and the reward is not guaranteed. And that's a completely different approach again. Every single company is having like a different style on this around this play to earn, because there is no rule at the moment that works for everybody. Obviously, and let's not lie about this, Axie is winning because Axie is the game where you win the majority of the rewards. The return is the one with the best ROI at the moment. To me, 9 Chronicles has a better ROI than Axie. But the only reason why that is the case is because I have a PC that is quite powerful, which means an initial investment upfront for that. Not everybody has that. You know, while Axie, you can play that on a normal smartphone and that's it, end of the story. So if you're looking at like the play to earn thing, it's that direction. But if you're looking at games, it's going to be very, very interesting on seeing like what it's going to happen in the next like 6 or 12 months, because a lot of companies are pushing into this, and everybody with different approaches. So it's very cool, to be honest.
To what degree do you see any mainstream games utilizing blockchain and building a play to earn function? Do you think that is on the cards?
I think it will 100% happen. Like Blancos, it's not a mainstream game, but Blancos has raised $75 million to build that game.
Wow,
that's AAA production.
Totally is.
You know,
and it's a good game. It feels like you're playing like a console game. There's you know, and now they're introducing the marketplace, and it's cool the way it's so customizable. You know, it'll take a while to build a community, but I could see that totally going.
Do you think?
For sure.
Do you think from the actual sort of use case number of users, do we know the numbers around how many people are actually in the blockchain gaming space as opposed to say DeFi from a numbers perspective?
I have no idea. I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know because I think that like if you're taking Axie that has like 200,000 active players, a lot of those members are not DeFi users. The vast majority, I don't think they are, because you got like people that are obviously like you're playing the game to earn a minimum wage in developed countries. Once they are done, like for the month, they might actually jump into Binance and cash out, or I don't see them like being too much on Ethereum, or like on DeFi or on Polygon or on things like that. We're trying obviously to do that type of work to show people that there is much more that can be done. And that's one of the things that I always mention, of being like, if you're not obliged of cashing out because you need to put money on the table, take some of that profit and play around with that, experience things, like play with things. It's the same thing on Twitch. We showcase always like jump from Axie and like maybe buy into things that are on the Wax blockchain, the Yoshi drop that we reviewed last week, for example, like all of those stuff. I think that and it works vice versa. I see a lot of people that are on DeFi that they don't know about play to earn, or they don't truly want to understand that, because gaming to them is seen like as something as just quite childish, or mentally they have issues to like understand that you can really make money on these things. It's very tough for people that will put like 70, 80, 100 Ethereum into something like Aave, for example, and they're looking at providing LP and so on. So having a true passive income mechanisms on that, to them being, okay, wait a second, if I'm actually like buying items of a game, I can earn basically the same as of a passive return that I would get on Aave. It's the two things are not connected yet. They will be. And I'm starting seeing people that are actually like migrating from DeFi to actually like, oh, I'm flipping land on the Sandbox, or I'm flipping land on Decentraland. It's starting happening, and vice versa. I'm starting seeing like people that are making an earning on play to earn being like, oh, wait a second, I am parking some of that profits into QuickSwap or Binance or PancakeSwap or whatever it is. So now, don't go on Binance, but we're going to get to that point. It's going to happen a step at a time. It's fine. So it's happening, the bridge on that thing, and that's very, very good. We're far. We're 1, 2, even 5 years away from my point of view to actually having things really connected and this being like a natural thing. It takes a long, long time for that.
So are there any specific projects, companies that you think are going to help facilitate that type of bridge that we should maybe be aware of and looking at?
Well, I'm still laughing because like I love the fact that it's only me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And so I've been talking for 20 minutes.
Someone said you've got the Khabib haircut, so I thought I'd just put you up there and let you show it off.
And,
Flavia
Flavia
has a good question. How do you think the exponential growth of the players is going to affect the long-term game? I mean, we've discussed this a couple times, but
yeah, I think that it's a positive thing, but it's raising the challenge now. We're seeing that the servers now, we're in the point where like Axie is not about like the blockchain part, but it's actually like the actual server, the traditional part of the technology that is not capable of keeping up with the number of requests that there are, which is a very good problem, because it means that like blockchain companies are now going to start hiring talents from the traditional technology world, and that's very good, because we're going to start being competitive.
Yep.
And so that means that if it start being a competitor sector, more people are going to be interested of learn about blockchain. It's not like demand and supply at the end of the day. It's a domino effect, or like that snowball thing. it's very, very good that you have use cases like this. For as much as like all of us are stressed and, you know, upset, and obviously it's fair, like we want to play, we want to open the game, it's like reconnected. Like we see the meme, obviously. It's like, oh, come on, just let me play for 5 minutes. But as an industry point, this is actually very, very good. Not only for Axie, but for the industry as its whole.
Yep. Well, we said 200,000 active users, right?
Daily, yes. They passed that. It's 224, 25, I think.
If each player needs 3 Axies, right? That means that there's 750,000 Axies on teams, right? And now that I see that 1 million number, actually I was like, that's fucking way too many.
600.
600 what?
So 200,000 multiplied by 3 is.
Oh, I thought you said 2.4. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So 600,000.
It's 204. Sorry, it's 204, not 240. So it's 200 is easier actually.
That's what I heard. Okay, cool. Yeah, 200 easy, right? So there's 600,000 Axies that are needed just for the players and the teams, right? And then there's a bunch of breeders and stuff, right? So actually, I thought 1 million was like, that's too much. It's growing too fast, right? But actually, if there's that many players, it's not. It's not, totally, the breeding is like, who's got a pump, right? Like the guys, they're using scripts now for the breeding, right? That was the big controversy. That was kind of interesting. They said Jeho made an announcement that if we had a governance was in place right now for AXS, this would be kind of the thing that the community would vote on, because the breed kind of wrecks the terms of service with the interacting with the bot. And then it's so, you know, like, do you really want to automate the breeding like that? Like, oh, crazy. It's like a hot dog factory. So interesting.
It is.
Oh,
and like,
so someone at my door.
You know, I think that.
I got to dip out for 1 second. I just got to answer the door. Sorry.
Sure. So connecting to like what Jordan was mentioning, I think that Axie is fine in terms of growth. It's healthy. The numbers, we see that the volumes of the marketplace at these values are going to pull in $1 billion in volume on a yearly base, which is insane. It's super good. If you're thinking about that for a second, 4.25% of those 1 billion is going to be like distributed into AXS holders. So, you know, even like the AXS now is actually having a potential. Yeah.
Sorry, I got to go because my landlord is here for the inspection. They didn't know when they were coming today. So we're moving, so I got to go. I'm sorry.
That sounds good.
We're gonna wrap it up shortly anyway.
That's okay.
Bye.
Catch you later, mate.
So, I think that's gonna be like the last point on that. But if you're looking at like the value of the AXS now, like just for the volumes from the marketplace, you know, you're looking at easily like a 20-30% APY that can be generating from that token. On top of that, you got the AXS that are going to be distributed, because like, as you know, every time that you're breeding, you get like the pay of 2 AXS, and then you get staking. So once all of that is going to be introduced, like, I don't know, it's obviously pure speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised if the AXS is actually giving you like a 70, 80, or even 100% API. So that's very good. Like, there is a case on like, you know, the growth is there, like all of these things are in place. I think that like once they fix the server, they must fix the server. But they're obviously going to do that. Once that is going to happen, can Axie reach 1 million user? Yeah, 100% they can reach that. It's clear at this point that there is enough demand that they can get there. Can they go to 10 millions? Yeah, I think so, because, you know, we're having the examples of Philippines and Venezuela, but there are a lot of countries that are in similar situations. I'm not talking about like the inflation part. I'm talking about like the minimum wage situation and the need of like unemployment rates and so on. When you start seeing like the billions of people that are around the world, this is not about gaming and players and things like that. There are a lot of people that are playing Axie that maybe potentially they cannot care less about playing a game on a PlayStation or something else, and they do that because of the earning point of that. So as long as the gear works, and so there is that expansion of players, there is that demand for Axie, we keep breeding, all the resources are being used, it's fine. The model works. The big question is, how quickly are we going to reach a point where then the graph is not going to be like this anymore.
Mm.
Because once we're going to have that drop happening, the math is the math. The numbers are the numbers, you know. Right now, the number of Axies that is needed, it's fine. There are probably like 200,000 Axies that are like not actually being utilized and things like that, or maybe 300, whatever it's going to be.
Yep.
And 50,000, 40,000, whatever it is on the marketplace. Cool story. Let's assume that that growth keeps going on the breeding side, because the breeding side is not affected in any possible way. The only variables that actually matters in this equation is how quickly you can keep up with the numbers of new players. If that things actually start decreasing, then you push like 100,000 Axie on the marketplace, 200,000 Axies on the marketplace. At that point, your floor level goes completely wrecked. At that point, the return of investment collapses down. At that point, obviously, it's demand and supply. Return of investments goes down. More players start leaving the game because they don't get enough money at that point, which means that at that point, it takes longer to jump back in. Rewards gets better for other players, blah, blah, blah. It takes more time to suck it in all the new DXs that are available on the market, and that's when the gear restarts. But when that moment will happen, because it is going to happen sooner or later, it's math. It has to happen. How long will that last? That's the challenge. That's the real challenge. But I think that, like, if you're looking at this, like, can we go till 10 millions on this speed? Yeah, potentially. I think that happening. And so if that is the case, I think that probably 1-2 years from now, I think that there is still like enough space to and enough room to actually like enjoy it at the moment.
Okay, very good. Plenty of knowledge from you as always. Okay, anything else before we wrap up today, people? Only 2 teams from myself, but yeah, I'm getting a bunch together. We've got the other people involved in hard forking as well. We've got numerous scholarships. So look, as you saw today, I like giving my teams away to people that I see engaging across YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So keep that up, people. And yeah, I hope to get more teams to you. So those two guys today, please hit me up on the Discord. I will get those teams to you by Monday. And I'm in the process of hatching my eggs, and I'll have a bunch more during the week also. So, Stefano, thanks for your time today, buddy. Any closing thoughts or comments for the community?
Yeah, a couple of things. Yes, they will absolutely fix the server. Is it possible for a government to ban a blockchain game in a country? Yes, it is possible. The same way that China is banning cryptos. It's going to be super challenging, let's be honest on this, but the problem is not really banning the game. The problem is like the bridges that are in place. You know, many people in the Philippines, for example, are using Gcash to cash out from the SLP and so on. If a government's ban that and that becomes illegal, it gets very, very complicated for people to cash out. You're not going to remove that 100%. Take, for example, Bali. You can't use cryptos in Bali, but there are still shops that would accept you to buy and sell cryptos for 3% fees, and you know, no KYC asked, no questions asked, or anything like that. You cannot stop it. It's true, but if it becomes illegal, you're not gonna reach like the 10 million active daily players. You know, that is actually a risk. If the Philippines were like, it's basically what, like 70%, 60%, 75%, whatever is the number, the vast majority of the Axie community is in the Philippines. If the government wake up tomorrow, ban that, declare that illegal, and start taking serious action about that, the fear becomes an enemy. And so if that happens, you're not going to kill the industry, let's be honest. You're not going to really have any resources to block someone from playing the game for real. But people are going to be scared of doing that. And so your growth, here we're talking about mainstream adoption. We're talking about the fact that like things like that needs to go into everybody's house. You know, 10 millions, 100 millions, 1 billion active users per day. Those type of numbers. If something becomes illegal, that's not going to happen. And for as much as we want to have then a theoretical debate on like nobody can remove our Bitcoin, blah blah blah, and so on, this is mainstream adoption. You need the governments, you need the law on your side, and yes, they can do that. Would they do that? I don't think so. I really doubt that. I think that it's going to be way, way easier for them to do the smartest possible thing ever, which is, unfortunately for everybody, putting taxes on this.
Yep.
You're earning $1,000 from playing a game. You pay your taxes in the same way that you would do if you're a freelancer, if you're a consultant, if you're having a full-time job. If I would be a government, I would play that like that. You can play that. You can do whatever you want. As in every single else that you're doing, I want to have my fee and my cut. Then we can debate if it's correct.
Moving forward, do you think, if we move forward maybe a decade or possibly sooner, do you see sort of, obviously the whole point, well, not the whole point, but blockchain gives that ability of programmable money. Do you ever see a scenario where, through Ethereum smart contracts or maybe other blockchains where that tax collection is actually baked in?
Yeah.
What sort of time frame do you think we're looking at for that sort of functionality?
The functionality, you could already do that in 2 seconds. Like it's the same exactly thing that like the fees that you're doing. Like think about the one of the projects that we've reviewed in the past, like Bonk, for example. Bonk has that fee inside that, like when you're transferring, 1% of that is taking and distributing and so on.
Yeah.
From a technical point, you can do that already. You can put like a 10, 20, 30% fee instead of a 1%. And that fee, instead of being distributing among like every single token holder, goes directly into one single wallet with a multi-sig or whatever, which could be the one for the government, for example. You could have that already available as of today. Now, the point is that like if a government would actually ask Vitalik to do something like that, or let's say that we're in POS, and so the validators need to vote to agree to install something like that, so that there is going to be like a global tax. And remember, the G7 already vote on having a global tax. So something like this, it's not like ludicrous to think about this in these terms. But would the validators actually vote and say, yes, we're going to do that? No, we're going to show the middle finger and be like, you want the money, then come and take it, but I'm definitely not going to help for that. That's for sure is going to be like the mentality, because like you see a lot of the interviews with people that are still covering their faces, being anonymous, and there is still a lot of like that approach in place. So I don't think the validators and the whales in the first place would agree on something like that. But you can have a model like very similar to places like Italy, for example, where it's like, or Portugal for the time that it is right now, where, whatever you're doing, it's fine. Like you do whatever you want in your blockchain. I tax you the gateway. I tax you when you come in or out, because you will need to declare that at that point, because you need to go back to the traditional world. When that thing would actually not be effective anymore. That happens when you can basically pay for everything without leaving the crypto space. So if I'm having my validator on Ethereum and getting my 5% a year, maybe that potentially is equal to, I'm going to oversimplify numbers, is equal to $1,000 a month. I have my $1,000, I can go to the grocery store and I can pay my $50 for my grocery for the entire week, whatever it is. Then how does the government knows at that point? Well, at that point, you're basically going to put a VAT tax. You're reversing that. If you can't not control that, you're increasing the service tax. And so every time that you're paying, you might have no personal taxation at that point. So you don't pay on your income anymore, but your VAT on products, on service, on all of those things becomes 50%, for example, 60%. And so you switch the tax. A lot of things can be played around over there. So, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Before that is actually going to be a thing, we're going to see the competition between countries to try to attract the whales and the people with the money. Singapore is a perfect example of this. Singapore has been doing this for ages, before cryptos. Come to us. Your taxation is super low. Oh, capital gain, 0%. Oh, income generated outside Singapore, 0%. Countries are going to do this for blockchain as well. Singapore is, again, a perfect example of that. I don't have to declare, the trading that I'm making because I'm getting no taxes over there.
Yep.
But if I would be in another country, potentially I should have. I don't know. It depends on where you're living, obviously. But so first we're gonna have that
one. I mean, someone's just asked about El Salvador. One of the fascinating things for me is they've obviously declared it legal tender, which means that you have to accept Bitcoin. So how that will play out right across the country, I'm not sure. That's going to be a difficult one for them to implement. But the other fascinating thing out of El Salvador this morning was that they're giving $30 worth of Bitcoin to anybody in El Salvador that's setting up the wallet. So maybe expect a little price pump in Bitcoin. Willie Woo commented that effectively would put the price of Bitcoin up 2.5%. We'll see.
It's not like, look, on El Salvador, and I mentioned that multiple times. There is also like that the guy that got super triggered on the YouTube video. They got like, Stefano's wrong. Poor guy losing 80% of his money on a leverage on Binance or whatever. That's probably why he's so salty. But apart from that, look, El Salvador is absolutely a PR stunt, and you see that in so many layers. 3 BTC, they give you like the PR. Come on, and that is not a PR stunt. Come on, like the volcano mining thing. Come on, like where were all of these people 2 years ago and so on? They could have done that already without having the legal tender or all of that. It's a PR stunt. It's 100% done to put the country in a better eyes from a global stand, and there is nothing against that.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, the actual utility of what they're looking to do. I mean, look, 25% of their economy is based around remittances from the US. So is Bitcoin the best technology for that scenario? Maybe not.
Look, the thing is that like if there are a few points where like it's a very smart decision, and there are other things where it's pure propaganda, which is still a smart decision, but there is this amount of really being beneficial, as so many people are claiming, for Bitcoin, for the industry, and so on. Number one, remittancy. I mentioned at least, and I know this because we work with offshore countries. We work with Panama, we work with Seychelles, we work with those type of countries. Try to do a bank transfer there. Just try. Be my guest. You will see the fees involved for that, and you will see how complicated and how limited some banks are on doing things like that.
Yeah.
You use Bitcoin, bang. It's cheaper, it's faster, no questions asked. It's a better UI and UX. It's simply better. So El Salvador is in that situation, and it makes sense. Why? Because the population and the people from El Salvador that are working abroad and they're sending back money home to support families. This is super common in so many countries. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They have less problems. They have less fees involved that goes to the banks. Those banks traditionally are not direct banks. It's not one-on-one. You have an intermediary bank, which normally like is in the US or something like that. So, those are less fees that goes into the financial industry and to banks, and more to remains or actually goes to the people that need to receive the money. So good thing. Very nice. If you're looking at the real numbers of something like that, it has no impact on the blockchain industry. It's very good for the people from El Salvador. No real impact on the Bitcoin price or the adoption or blah, blah, and so on. Like, let's be realistic on it. Number two, the 3 BTC for a passport and so on is exactly what I've saying before. How many people were actually thinking of setting up businesses in El Salvador or moving to El Salvador to live before this news? Not a lot. El Salvador was number one for the number of homicide in the world. It's not a safe country. Like, let's put numbers in perspective. The fact that now they allowed you to get a PR with Bitcoin, it's a very good news. How many people are actually going to start doing that? I don't know, but it's a brand. It focused there instead of the problems of the countries. The volcano thing, all of that PR stunt and so on. Do you actually have the money to do that? I don't think so, by the way. We will see about that. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But, you know, it's another PR stunt. Prove them like it's pro-crypto. Take all of that community that is available right now, because why not? You need friends. That's always a positive thing.
Yeah.
And there is the other thing, which is like the biggest argument on that, which is, yes, but that's the first one. Other countries are going to adopt that. Okay, very true. What is it going to happen if too many countries are going to adopt that? That the US government, it's going to step in. You know, that's the funny part, and I don't understand why people are not mentioning that. Do you really think that if all the countries that are actually using the US dollars and main currency, instead of having their sovereign currencies, are going to flip the middle finger to the US is going to sit down and be like, okay, sure, go ahead, no problems.
No.
Like, so I mean, like, you have already China against blockchain. The last thing that I would want for this industry is to have even the US against, because then you have the two most powerful countries in the world against an entire industry. That ain't gonna be a nice scenario. And the problem is that if you do things in a professional way and you think about it, and you ensure that the US government, or you ensure that other countries are actually okay with something like that, then it's fine. Yeah. But if you just go ahead on being a cowboy and be like, yeah, whatever, goodbye to the US dollars, we do whatever we want, and everybody do that, that's not going to go far at all.
Yes. Well, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I need to wrap it up here. I'm late for a family dinner, but thank you all for tuning in. Get into the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers here, people, but we're been stuck for the last couple of weeks. So tell your friends how awesome hard forking is and get them to subscribe. It's going to be a huge prize when we get to 10K, and we're nearly there. So hit the subscribe. Yeah. Stefano is going to come and live with you for a week. That's the main prize.
Oh, really? And then nobody, everybody's going to unsubscribe now, because like the last thing that you want to have is me for a week ranting about everything. Imagine this. You're going to like use your fork and knife. I'm going to rant on the way that you're using your fork and knife because it's going to be wrong. You're cooking something. I'm going to rant about it. You're using soap instead of shampoo. I'm going to rant about it. You're using shampoo instead of soap. I'm going to rant about it. Nothing.
Hey, I forgot. I totally forgot to ask you. Did you manage to hire somebody for your company, or are you still looking?
No, I paid 2 websites today. I put like the job post on Crypto Jobs and Crypto Jobs list. Cost me 700 Singaporean dollars. So
what?
Yeah. Man, finding talents is tough. And I mean, I'm not like a marshmallow when it's about work and the company. So you know, I'm also part of the problem. I know that very well.
Well, I wouldn't want to work for you, but if there's anyone out there that does, hit them up. It's a good job.
True. Oh, it's for sure a good job. You're gonna
just very quickly for people watching. You just want to let them know again what you're looking for. They might be somebody here, or they may know somebody.
So I'm looking for someone that can basically like work in a startup, which basically means like wearing a lot of different hats, and that can actually move from content creation to social media to admin work, to sales, to business development, to closing partnerships, to customer support and all of this stuff. Which means that it's super simple. You need to be someone very, very versatile, someone that it's talented, and I mean like very, very talented. and in general, like someone that really understand a lot about this industry, not only the blockchain one, but what we do is like we do company incorporation in offshore countries, which means like that you either have to know something about that, or you need to be ready of learning an insane amount of knowledge about regulation, about laws, about like requirements and all of that stuff. So to give you like an idea, this is like a fun thing. One of the questions that I've been asking during the interviews now as being, you have a big cube that is created and made of a lot of little cubes. Every line is equal to 10 cubes. If you remove the external surface, so if you remove all the external faces, how many cubes, little cubes you have left? Now, if by listening to this, you're like, what? This is not the job for you. And so if, however, you understood that and you're like, oh, wait a second, let me figure this out. And your first thinking process is like, okay, one face 10 by 10 by 10, you calculate how many cubes there are. And then you're like, wait, one face is actually 10 by 10. And so like it's 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. If you start doing that, the thinking process is not correct. So you're not very quick, but potentially you could get there. But if you're good, like if you're the right candidate, you will be like, easy. 10 at the cube, remove an external one, -1, 9 at the cube, done. If that is the answer, then reach out because you are the right person.
There you go. If anyone got that.
But that's the thing. That's what I mean. That like I'm tough. I'm a tough boss. Yes, I'm very, very tough. But
you're going to pay well for the right person, aren't you? So
yeah, of course.
What sort of salary for the perfect person would be on offer?
It depends, because like we're starting thinking that maybe it's going to be like 2 people instead of 1 person. You know, it can go anywhere, or it can be like someone that is very talented and just need like a part-time. So it might go from like anywhere from 2,000 up to like 5, 6, 7,000 easily. It really depends on who you are and what you can do.
Sorry, that's Singapore or USD?
No, USD.
Okay.
Singaporean dollars is not a global currency. So
yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, people. If that is you, get in touch with Stefano, or if you know somebody that you think would be applicable, get on in there, and I'm sure he'll give you a finder's fee as well if you can dig him up the right person, especially if you're paying $700 for an ad on a crypto website.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Some easy money there. If you know the right person, get in touch. And also, as we mentioned earlier, we're looking for more people to really come and be actively involved in helping us manage these teams. Jazzy is just doing an amazing job, but we're really looking to ramp up here. So also get in touch with us on that front. I'm definitely looking for somebody, if there's anyone out there with a really good knowledge of social media. We don't actually have a TikTok account running yet, so I'm really looking for somebody that can come in and help us right across all the different platforms. So if you have a very good knowledge around SEO, sort of generating a bigger audience for us, please get in touch with me directly on the Discord. Also, or you can hit me up with a DM on Twitter. Now, just with regards to DMs on Twitter, people, please don't use that for the scholarships. It's just filling up my inbox there. The Discord is the place for that. And just to reiterate, I'm giving away my teams to the people I see most involved in helping share the content, growing the community. So congrats to the 2 guys that got the teams today. Plenty more coming this week. Stefano, thank you as always for your time, buddy. Enjoy your Friday night and your weekend. And we'll speak
anybody that will be on the stream tonight on Twitch. We're gonna do the entire review of the Play to Earn portal online Chronicles. So if you want to learn more about like the Play to Earn thing, then that's the place. We're basically gonna go through the entire quits. So you already have answers to basically like get some free tokens if you want to like copy that basically.
There you go. And also, just to reiterate, anyone that wants to sell any 9 Chronicles gold, I'm buying. So please get in touch. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you all very soon. Cheers, Stefano.
Have fun.